Hello, I believe we're online. If you can hear me loud and clear, could you please put in a yes in the chat box? Okay. So, a very warm welcome to this session of YouTube Live. Online. If you can hear me loud and clear, could. Okay, sorry about that. All right. So welcome, and it's lovely to have you with me. These live sessions are all about digital marketing, Google Ads, video marketing, or any questions you may have where you are struggling with your online presence and marketing. Send in your questions either to info@sfdigital.co.uk or join in these sessions live and put your questions in the chat box, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. So let's kick off the session without much further ado, and I'm going to answer these few questions which have been sent to me by email. So the first question is what are Google Ads micro and macro goals? And this is a great question where a lot of people get confused about what these means and how can these be set up. So the main goal or the macro goal is for someone to either sign up, become a lead, sign up to your email newsletter. If you have got an e-commerce website, you can sell something to them, or someone makes a purchase on your site. So these are all the main goals where you want the visitor to your website to take action. But before that, there needs to be certain goals which needs to be achieved, which leads the visitor to on the path to making a conversion. Nowadays, the path to a conversion is not very straightforward. It is pretty much like a zigzag. Somebody will come to your website, then they'll go to social media, then they'll search again and go to perhaps your competitors' websites. They'll go to forums and they will ask for recommendations, and after researching, they are going to make that decision to either sign up or make that purchase. So what you need to do is to be able to track these micro conversions which are leading your visitor to the main conversion. So a micro conversion could be someone who comes to your website, they add to cart but don't convert. They view a video, they stay on your website for 4 or 5 minutes, they go to multiple pages on your website. So all these interactions and engagement on your site gives us an indication or the likelihood of that person converting or not. Because if somebody comes to your website and they just bounce off after a few seconds, no matter what you offer them, they are never going to convert. So this is why it is extremely important to measure these micro conversions and goals, so that you can optimize your campaigns for your main goals or the macro goals. And these can quite easily be set up in Google Analytics and imported them into Google Ads. So if somebody comes to my website and views a video up to 75% of that video, then I know that they were very interested in listening to my message or my whatever I was offering them on that video. So I need more of those people who are listening to me, because they are more likely to convert. So this is what I mean by micro and macro goals, and both needs to be set up in your Google Ads and also in Google Analytics, and imported them back into your Google Ads account. Okay. The next question is, I've set up a Google Ads TCPA campaign and I don't get any impressions. This is a very common question, and it is something which a lot of people struggle with. So what is TCPA means, target cost per acquisition. So it's a smart campaign or an automated campaign where you leave the bidding to Google, and then it is going to bring a conversion at your at the amount which you have set up. Now, if it's a brand new campaign and you don't have much data, and the tendency is for most people to put in a very low value for that target cost per acquisition. So there's no way in the world your campaign is going to take off the ground. First of all, you need to let the campaign run and get some data in. And the best way to do that is to start off with a manual bidding. Once you've got that data in and you know that your target cost per or your cost per acquisition is coming in at, let's say, $100, but then when you have set up a TCPA campaign and you put in $10, there's no way in the world you'll be able to get that conversion at that price. I know everyone wants to get a conversion at the lowest possible price, but you need to be realistic and you need to be aware of what's happening in your account. And if you put in a very low volume, you won't get it. You won't get any impressions and any clicks. Forget the conversions. It's never going to happen. So my advice to you would be not to start any campaigns with automated biddings. Start always with a manual one. And once you've got some data, about 30-40 conversions, then you go to TCPA. Now, a lot of people will say to you that, well, set to TCPA and let it run, and you'll start the campaign, you'll get the conversions happening at the target CPA. In my humble opinion and experience, it doesn't happen and it doesn't work that way. The other most important factor with TCPA campaigns is that you need to give Google sufficient budget. And what I mean by that is you need to give at least 4 to 5 times budget of your target CPA. By budget, I mean on a daily basis. So if your target CPA is, let's say, $10, then you need to give about $40 to $50 budget to Google, and then it'll start to run. But if you have your budget at $20, you will not get any impressions because Google hasn't got that leeway to go out and get the clicks and get you the conversions at the target which you want to get. So hope this answers your question. Okay, the next one is, what's the difference between the plus quotation mark and the square brackets in Google Ads? So these are the match type for your keywords. So as we know that we've got, let's start with the plus, is the broad modified. Then we have the quotation mark, which is the phrase, and then the square bracket is exact. So now over here it has given a space. That's how it needs to be. So if you've got multiple words in your keyword, then you need to have a plus sign in front of each word if you want, with no space. So make sure that there's no space between the word and the positive sign, and then there's a space obviously between the word and then the next plus sign. So that's the broad modified keyword. The phrase match is always in these quotation marks at the front and at the end, and the exact match keywords is always in the square brackets. So broad modified means that these two words or multiple words, as many as they are on your keyword, needs to be on that search term in any order. So if somebody puts in a keyword, let's say running shoes, then, and you're bidding as the broad modified plus running, let's do that, plus running plus shoes, and somebody searches for let's say I want to buy running shoes, then these two words or the keywords are on that phrase or are on that search term, and it may trigger your ad. The phrase match is where both these words need to be in the same order on anywhere in the on that search term. So it will trigger by that search term, or it may running shoes cost, or if somebody puts in running shoes near me. So in this instance, running shoes is at the front of the search of the search term, whereas over here as well, but on here it is at the end. So it doesn't matter in which order, but these two word orders need to be in the same way which you are targeting. And obviously the exact match is only when somebody searches for running shoes or running shoe. Singular or plural doesn't matter now anymore in Google. So that's what you that's how you set up your keywords in Google Ads. The other one which you may know or you haven't asked for is the broad match. I would not recommend you run with broad match because it goes on a tangent and it just brings in a lot of traffic and clicks. So you may get a lot of clicks on your campaign, but you probably will not get the results or the performance of the campaigns. The other one which is extremely important is negative keywords. So that will stop your ads being shown for irrelevant search terms. So okay, next is, can you explain which goal should I use when setting up a Google Ads campaign? If I set up a campaign without goals, does that mean I won't have conversion tracking for my campaign? This is something which confuses a lot of people. So let's go into the account. So when you click on the new campaign and you see this screen, this is where the confusion happens. Creating this one, which is create a campaign without a goals guidance, does not mean that you will not get conversion tracking. Conversion tracking must always be used, no matter which goal type or which campaign you are running. And by that I mean whether you are running a search campaign, shopping, video, or ads on Gmail. It really is extremely important that you set up the conversion tracking. But what this allows you to do is gives you different options. It tells Google what you are looking for your campaign. So if you want to get people to explore your products or services, then this is for display and video. You cannot run search campaigns on this one. Whereas over here, if you look at it, you will get all the campaign types underneath. So you've got your search, display, shopping, video, and discovery, and so on. If you were to use this goal without a goals guidance, then you will get all the options, as you can see over here. I've got all of them. Whereas if I were to, let's go over here, I only got display and video. So I don't have search, because that is not what this is for. And same over here, you got all these campaign types for the sales, whereas leads you'll get the same one, and the website traffic we've done. Product consideration is over here with these 5 campaign types. So what I tend to do normally is I just go over here and then I can choose which is my campaign type. Couple of things which I would like to add in here, especially if you are running a search campaign, is let's click on that, then continue. It won't let me do that without my URL. Okay. Then create a new campaign for your display, because the metrics are completely different. Search is intent based, whereas display display isn't. You know, somebody who's surfing on the internet, they will stumble upon your ad. They are not actively searching and looking for a product or service, whereas on the search network, people are going to Google and searching for a solution to their problem. So what you will also find, especially on the display network being selected along with the search, it really dilutes your CTR. You will find your CTR go very low, and then you will wonder, why is my CTR? This is the reason why. You will find that you're getting a lot of impressions and your CTR has gone very low. So I would always take this off. And if it's for a local campaign around a 5-mile radius of where you are and you are not getting enough search traffic, then you can include Google search partners, try it and see what happens. And if you find that it is getting a lot of clicks and wasting your budget and not giving you the performance you are looking for, then obviously you can take it out. But sometimes you will find that you do start to get some exact location where you wish to place and run your ads. So that's it for this session. I will be logging live at 5 o'clock every weekday UK time and answer your questions. I've got one more question from Vinod Kumar. Vinod, I'm going to answer that for you tomorrow, and if you can't make it, then it will be recorded and it will be on our website or on our YouTube channel. So thanks for joining in, and I look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow at 5 o'clock. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please send it across to info@sfdigital.co.uk so I can prepare the reply for you, or just ping them in the chat box. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you tomorrow.